set you free. I told you you could always count on me. Always count on me.
Greetings to my general viewing audience. It's your man Shane Black, and I'm back. Right now, I'm back to share with you my thoughts as it relates to gun control versus hardening the schools. This is America, and we have the Second Amendment. And the reason we have the Second Amendment is because the founding fathers realized that a disarmed populace would be subject to tyrannical rule. I'll expand on that later. But decrepit ass Joe Biden got up there tonight talking about gun control. We need to get like the assault weapons. Earlier he was talking about how a 9mm would blow somebody's lung out of their body. I don't know what kind of comic book that stupid ass motherfucker has been reading. But no, a 9mm bullet, a bullet from a 9mm gun is not going to blow your lung out of your body. That's bullshit. It's another one of his long line of lies. However, when asked about hardening the schools in order to prevent school shootings, Joe Biden is soundly against it. Don't believe me? Let's listen to his press secretary, because at least we can understand what she's saying. Have a listen.
When it comes to schools, and I don't know what he said specifically about schools. I know there's been conversation about hardening schools. That is not something that he believes in. He believes that we should be able to give teachers the resources to be able to do the job that they're meant to do at schools.
Okay, so you just heard it right there from Karine Jean-Pierre, or whatever in the hell her name is. Doesn't really matter to me, because she's just fine as hell. I want you to think about something. Should you decide to ever vote for a Democrat without knowing what their stance is on hardening the schools in order to prevent school shootings, as opposed to taking firearms from law-abiding citizens? If you don't know what their stance is and you vote for them anyway, then if any child must die in a school shooting, if it's something that must happen, that it is unavoidable, but it's a matter of choice, your child, you, somebody who voted for a Democrat, who does not believe in hardening the schools against attack, and an independent or Republican or even a fellow Democrat who voted against a candidate who did not believe in hardening the schools, then if it must happen, I would hope it's your child. I surely would. I would hope that no child dies, but if a child must die, then I would hope that that would be a child of somebody who is so effing stupid that they believe trying to confiscate the guns of people who can actually protect your child, an armed teacher, an armed parent who just happens to be hanging out at the school to visit their child, and they see a shooter come in and put one right between their eyes, saved your child and every other child in the school. You have to quit living in your idealized world where everything is puppies and unicorns and caterpillars. I don't even know why I say caterpillars. But you have to live in the real world. And in the real world, you have good guys and good girls with guns. Look up the story. There's a graduation party, and somebody pulled up with some kind of weapon, and there was an adult there that had a concealed carry permit, and she pulled her shit out and blew that motherfucker away, saving all the children at the graduation party. If Joe Biden and the Democrats had their way, there's no telling how many dead bodies would have been lying in the street. And it's the same thing when it comes to the schools. Let me wrap this up after I get my vitamins. If you harden the soft target, which is currently the school. Then you can make it almost impossible. Nothing is totally impossible, except maybe you can't fly. That's impossible. You jump off a building, you're going to die. But you can make it as close to impossible as you can for a shooter to gain access to a school. An outside shooter, I should say. Unless you install metal detectors at all schools, and then you could catch a student shooter before they can truly gain access to their victims. That will resolve the issue. That will better work to resolve the issue of school shootings instead of trying to take guns from people. In conclusion, as most people have already dropped off and stopped listening by now, but if the population has no guns, actually shit, check out this video right here, have a look. There you go. Democrats already want to be the Socialist Marxist Party of America. And what you just saw was from Venezuela. Their citizens were stuck throwing rocks and garbage and shit at the police, at the military, because they have been disarmed. You'll have a whole bunch of felons in America if you try to take everybody's gun. But hypothetically, if you did, now the Democrats have already tried to weed Republicans and independents from the military so that the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines would all be loyal to the Democratic Party. Just like the military in Venezuela, I mean, there have been some changes, but it used to be loyal to Maduro. Therefore, it wouldn't matter who was in office, the military is only going to respond to orders given by Democrats. They tried to do it with the police. We need to defund the police, demonize the police. So people will leave the police force. And therefore, who's going to protect you when somebody's breaking into your house? They've taken the Capitol Police and given them I'll have to look it up, but they were trying to give them additional powers so that the Capitol Police can act as a law enforcement agency locally. So this federal police force will enforce laws on a local level. And this was done with Garland, whatever the hell that head of the DOJ is, Merrick Garland, when he claimed that parents were a domestic terrorist threat. So if you give some thought to it, that is in effect what they're trying to do: create a military and law enforcement agencies that are loyal to the Democratic Party only, and then take guns and weapons from you, so that when they come down in your neighborhood to do something, to force you to put your child in one of those schools to be indoctrinated, you can't do shit about it because they took your guns. That's it. That's all, general viewer. These are my thoughts. Shit. Hopefully I didn't go over 10 minutes. If I did, fuck it. You should have kept listening anyway. I'm out.